Yo, what up? This your boy T-Dub. What's blazing in sports? We are here live. Listen, guys, May the 6th is going to be a big day. Chavez Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez. We know that. Trust me, I did about 5, maybe 6 videos on it. But another fight that's going to be pretty good, I think, is Lucas Matthysse versus Emmanuel Taylor. This is going to be a pretty good fight. See, guys, you got two fighters. By the way, guys, we are live. So if you watch this on a replay, this was shot in real time, uploaded to YouTube. All right. But let's get back to it. Each one of these fighters had their time to shine or to fight their way into the spotlight. You had Luca Matthysse, who had some big fights, took some tough losses, won some. You have Taylor, who had a shot against Adrian Broner, which definitely would have catapulted him into bigger fights. Okay, both of these fighters have took some losses. It looks like this might be freezing up on me just a bit, guys. Let me check something. It's not showing too bad. Okay. But it is freezing up, nevertheless. But here's what I'm going to do. I want to jump to each one of these guys. Give me a second. I want to pull up the box rec. I'm kind of new to this, but I want to just kind of go over some things, touch on some things from each one of these fighters, and just look at what they brought to the table thus far. Let's try this. Bam! Okay. Let me, hopefully that's showing right. Now I'm going to do this. No, not that. Is it, this? There we go. What? All right. Still not quite sure if you guys can see this, but what I want to do is just touch on some of the fights. All right. So as we can see, he only has 4 losses. I'm gonna come right here. He only has 4 losses. He's got 20 wins, 14 by knockouts, 4 fighters. And here's the thing, guys. He's not a bad fighter. He's a pretty much a pressure fighter. He doesn't use his jab like I think he should use it. He throws pretty good combination punches, and he's going to bring the fight. He's not someone that's going to run. He doesn't have great footwork, but he is somebody that's going to make the fight interesting. All right. So let me just scroll down. Let's get rid of that. All right. By the way, since this is T-Dub, What's Blazing Sports, we are here live. Wow. All right. So let's get to some things, guys. I guess one of his biggest losses was he lost to Chris Algieri. Then he got the Mayfield win. Actually, in the Mayfield fight, guys, he pressured him well. He did not use his jab a lot, which I think Matthysse is going to have to use facing this guy. And I'm going to try to get to a breakdown. This was extreme last minute, and I thought about the fight. Like, you know what? Let me get a fight out first about this. And then, guys, my plan is once this fight ends, is to go live. Give you my immediately reaction right after the fight, before the Canelo fight. So do me a favor, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell, guys. So when I go live, you get a notification, click on it, you see your boy doing the thing. All right, so here we go. He beat Mayfield, had a pretty good win, right? A lot of people counted him out against Adrian Broner. I knew it was going to be a tougher fight than a lot of people thought. And he gave Broner a very good fight, guys. A very good fight. Broner did not close the show on this until, actually at the end. I can't remember which round it was, but Broner hit him with maybe like a 6-piece. He threw 2 punches in front, 2 punches on his side. Okay, it was a 5-piece. Then he hit him with an uppercut. That right there was the beginning to the end for him. So, I mean, after that, he went on to lose against Antonio. And now he bounced back and he's on a 2-fight winning streak going into Lucas Matthysse. Now, I would say this. I'm going to click on Lucas Matthysse as well. I do think he is the favorite. I will say this, that if he wins, it probably would be, better for some boxing fans because his name has more recognition to it. People seeing him in bigger fights, and people like to see people you already see a lot stay in the limelight of the fight. I believe if Taylor do beat him, he might get some shots, but maybe not quite the exposure if Luka Matthysse wins this fight. Some people is saying that in this fight that Taylor is supposed to be a stepping stone for Luka Matthysse. Now, here's the thing: if he is, let's say he is. Do you immediately now? This guys, I believe Matthysse. This is 147. Are you gonna throw him in there with a Sean Porter or Chief Thurman or Brooke or Spence or Miracon? Are you gonna throw him with the guys or? You know what? I'm gonna just say this. You know what would be a nice fight for him, guys? I think Tim Bradley. I think Tim Bradley has not done nothing since Manny Pacquiao. Since Manny Pacquiao made him do a gymnastic somersault in the ring. I think that'd be a pretty good matchup, guys. Lucas Matthysse against Tim Bradley. I think that'd be really nice. But this is Lucas Matthysse, guys. I mean, this guy, and I'm not gonna go through all the fights. I want to just step on some highlights. All right. The Zab Judah fight. Here's the crazy thing, guys. A lot of his losses have been controversial. Okay. Somebody might have an edge by one. You know what? I would just say this. They were close calls. I'm not gonna say controversial. I was gonna say there was very close calls where a lot of people may have said they thought he edged it, and they ended up giving it to the other guy. Zab Judah is one of those guys that he was able to touch up and knock down, and Zab, I guess, ended up coming back and win that. Um, he fought DeMarcus. He fought Devin Alexander. That was in St. Louis. Devin got the win. I think that was one that some people thought he might have won. Uh, Let me see. Let me get some good. He got a lot of big. Lamont Peterson. That's another one. Lamont Peterson is a very good fighter. Then Danny Garcia. I actually thought people thought that he was going to destroy Danny Garcia, even break Danny Garcia. Even no. I think honestly, once Danny Garcia caught him and bust him up, had that eye swollen like that, is that took a lot out of him. That took a lot of what he had going on. He did not fight the same since. Then he got the win. John Molina. You know what, man? Molina came out hot in this fight. Woo! He came out hot. I think he even dropped Lucas Matthysse. But then Lucas Matthysse just fall back. Very good fight. Very good win, guys. Roberto Ortiz, Ruslan Povannikov. Man, Ruslan, that was a fight that I think people thought it was going to be a little bit more of a slugfest than it was because Povannikov is going to come up throwing haymakers. All haymakers. He's going to leave defense at the front door. Matter of fact, he may leave it at the fence locked in the front, past the front yard, then to the front door. And Matthysse actually boxed pretty well in that fight, guys. And then all of a sudden he stepped in there with Victor Postol. Wow. Victor Postol really put a number on him, boxed him easily, moved nice. Luke Matthysse had a hard time catching up with Postol and took that L. KO style. You see it right here, guys. KO style. Now, as you can see, guys, the last fight was in 2015, October the 3rd. This is 2017. He had a nice little time off, nice little rest, and he faced Emmanuel. So let me get you back to me, guys. I hope this is not freezing us up as much as I thought. Let me check one thing real quick. All right. I'm not sure why that looks good, but let's do this. Let's all right. Alright, so there we go. Alright guys, this is a really good fight. Like I said, this is a fight that is set up for one of them to put themselves back in the spotlight. I think Luka Matthysse might be favored. I think what Luka Matthysse would need to do is actually use his jab because I think Emmanuel is definitely going to put some pressure on him. He throws some really good combination. He's going to pressure the action. Let me check, make sure this thing is not going bananas on me. All right. I think he's definitely going to pressure the action. He's going to come in. He doesn't use his jab. That's the one thing about Emmanuel. If he used his jab more, I think he'd be even more effective fighter. He'd kind of paw with it, stick it out there, but not really, using it as a real setup punch or as a real punch, in itself. And it's going to be a really good fight, guys. A lot of people have not talked about this fight. I haven't seen a lot about it, but it is a pretty good fight. I know Canelo Alvarez versus Chavez Jr. is going to overshadow it. That is a big match. It's a big match that's going to have a lot of animosity built into it. I'm going to do a separate video on that as well. I was going to shoot that tonight, but since I already shot a video on that, if you have not seen it, go back, check it out, like it, thumbs up, subscribe. Remember, this is your boy T-Dub. What's Blazing in Sports? We are here live. Oh, guys, and one thing, if you ever have any video suggestions, if you ever want to say, hey, T-Dub, or What's Blazing in Sports, hey, what do you think about this fight? Or what do you think about somebody calling out Lomachenko? What do you think? Woo. Get my brain rocking all my talking about it. But guys, this is a good fight. It's not the main event. I know that. But this fight, especially if Luka Matthysse don't move around and decide to stand up, throw punches, and Emmanuel decide to stand up, throw punches, somebody going to get knocked out. And I want to see how Luka Matthysse power transition from 140 to now consistently. I think he's going to stay at 147. Will he have that same effect that he had back on 140 where he was dropping people with one touch at 147? And Taylor is one of those guys. He's not a really big guy. Typically a 140-pounder. He may have bounced to 147, but he's a small guy, and he put the pressure. One thing about him, I wouldn't suggest him staying at 147, but hey, you never know what he do at 147. But him being a pressure fighter, I don't think he's going to be as big. He's not going to put that pressure on a Kell Brook and going to stop him. I don't think he's going to put that pressure on Kell Brook or a Earl Spence or a Keith Thurman or a Sean Porter. Those elite would give him a lot of problems. But if he can win his fight, maybe focus on maybe go back to 140. If he wins his fight, that could open up doors. Either way, guys, this fight right here, Luka Matthysse and Emmanuel, is definitely going to open up doors for somebody. I hope it's a really good fight. I hope you guys do one last thing before you get out of here. Matter of fact, several. Hit the like button, subscribe, share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit the dinner bell before you get out of here. It's your boy T-Dub. What's Blazing in Sports? And we are out.